Now, after they've agreed, yes, you can invite them to future events. Now, this is where we are given the authority to use the mass texting app. And this is where your life gets easier, kind of. Because if you're following the course, you're technically never finished ever getting new friends, new emails, and new phone numbers. You're technically speaking, if you do this, this is what you do, right? But on the same token, if you're driving a Mercedes S63 AMG for eating at restaurants, you're probably not going to care about all this little simpleton work you're going to do that I'm asking you to do if you really want to make it big in this type of business of the mobilizing people. Okay, move forward. I personally recommend this particular mass texting app. It's the green one, look like that. Right now, if you want to look it up in the App Store, it's mass text message. So go to the App Store. I kind of just want to show it to you just so you can see that how to find it. So mass text right here. Not that one. Not that one. Nope. And it's that. This is the one I like. Right. There's a lot of them. Would I be surprised if there's a better one? Absolutely not. I'm sure there's a better one, you know. This one wasn't free. This one actually costed me, I want to say $2.99 one time. For me, was it worth $3? Yes, because I buy a lemonade, a hot dog, and stick for $4, and that's gone in like 4 minutes. I've been using this for years. So me personally, I like it. You download this sucker, it's gonna look like this. Now, there's different categories that you can make. So you push the plus button. You can name it something. I name everything MP Live, stands for Mobilizing People Live. That's me. You can categorize people by restaurant, by whatever you want to categorize people. So let's say I name it something, done. And then you push the plus button down here. And this starts adding your contacts, right? So when you are over here and you... database collecting address, thank you. You have all the phone numbers here that you were collecting, and then you mass text them the message that we showed you earlier, which was the thank you text. And then once they agree, like we showed you earlier, this guy, James Hsu, said, yes, can I invite you to future events? He said, yes. I was texting myself just as an illustration, but once he agrees, then me personally, I go back to that, find out his name, and that was Kent Wong. I copy and paste this, copy it, then I go to the text, I save his phone number in here, that way now it's saved. Then when I go to the mass texting app, I just put in his name, Kent Wong. Me personally, I like putting people by how I met them. You know, so like as an example, Kent introduced me to someone named Arian, and Arian's, so I put Arian Hillman / Kent Wong, because I know I won't forget Kent. If it was for a restaurant invasion, I would have put Kent Wong, and I would have put / Joe's New York Pizza. That way I remember where I got all these contacts from. So I want to add Kent in that box. There's different phone numbers I can pick. I'll pick his cell phone, and we're good. So now in that one that we just created, if you push I, it goes into it, and it shows you Kent Wong. Done. Now, this mass texting app says you can add an unlimited amount of people to each group. Is that true? Yes. If you do that though, will you be in a lot of trouble with your current subscriber, AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, and T-Mobile? Those are the big ones in America. If you have a database up to, let's say, 1,000, heck, let's say you even have 100, and you, as an example, go to, you know what? Actually, let's do this. Let's make up a fake one again. And then let's put in Kent. And then, Kent, would you mind getting your phone out? So it adds Kent's cell phone. Done. So this is Kent's iPhone 6 Plus. I highly recommend get a 6 Plus over a 6. It seems big, but it really isn't. Okay, so let's say that, where's that one I just made up? There you go. So imagine though there was more than just Kent, even though this is just Kent in here. I put that out. And then it should go to his text right here. There it is. And I wrote this, right? So I wrote to Kent all this stuff, and I invited him to the next event, blah, blah, blah. Right now, the thing is this: if you right now it's one member, but if you add more than like 50, if you even add like 25, right? But you have all these groups of 25, and you just go one by one and start sending these out. You're gonna send out, let's say, even 4 of them with 25 numbers each. You send 100 number. You mass text 100 people from my point of view, it's AT&T. Within a minute, they will literally. They won't admit this, but they will shut down your text messaging where Kent won't receive any of my texts anymore. He can text me and I'll receive his text, but when I reply to him, he won't get it back. And if you're wondering, that's AT&T. At one point, if you would have met me, I had an AT&T phone, a Sprint phone, I had every single service that I tried mass texting with, and they all will, the term that they use is called throttle. They will all throttle your text messaging service. So what I do is I never go past 10. Now I know all these say 11 is because one of the numbers is myself right here, right? So I will send out this text message to these 10 people plus myself, 11 of them. And I will do that every time I'm about to send these messages out. I'll send it out to 11 right here. I will send it out, and then the minute that it says, the minute I get my own text from myself is when I'll go to the next one, and I won't go past 10 of them, meaning I'll send out MP Live 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and then I'll stop. Once I hit 2, I will stop. And then I'll wait maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes, and then I'll send out 2, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 29, and then once it gets to 3, I'll stop again, right? So I'm still sending out 100 some odd texts in probably, if each one takes 5 seconds, I'm literally sending out 100 texts in 50 seconds. You know, even that's a lot, but I've never been cut at that, so I just keep it at that for me. So you can see my mass texting is pretty nuts. I don't recommend going past 10, and I always recommend add yourself to make it 11. And I mean, look at this. This is awesome, isn't it? These are all the people I have access to mass text at any point. Now, if you're wondering why it's so small, is because these are the people I know love coming to my events, and basically anything I do, they'll come to. I still have my mass texting app. I still have my texting. I still have access to all these people. So on this phone, it's 6,602 phone numbers I have. So I can have access to all these people. And then no matter where you click, I met them somewhere. Hunger Games, Bonga, Dark Knight. Oh, I'm sorry, Dark 30, Dark Knight, Dark 30. A lot of Dark Knights, because I told you with 3,318 people. Taken 2, Looper, a lot of movies. Dark Knight, Snow White, Cloud Atlas, a guy named Adonis, Pedro, a magician, Marquee, nightclub in Las Vegas, Judge Dredd. So anyway, moving forward, mass text app. Stack it up. So right here we have, I think my last one on this one is 41. So this one I mass text 410 people in Las Vegas. Once a week is when I use this. I text 400 people, and I add to it every single day. More people who really want to be a part of the group. And that's all I do when it comes to the mass text. So once again, download the mass texting app, create categories, never go past 10 of different people, add yourself 11, so you make sure the text went through. Sometimes you'll push it, send out a text, and you'll never get it. And then that means no one else got it too, because it wouldn't just segregate you. That means no one else got it. So then you have to re-text it out again to yourself. I learned this because I would send out texts, and certain people would say, oh, I wish you would have told me about that event. I never got your text. If you could see my face right now, it's one of those upset faces, because you're like, because that's your money. That's how you make money. So if you're going to invest your time in texting people, you kind of want to make sure, I don't know, everyone gets your text. And it's frustrating when people don't get your text. So that's why I always add in the mass texting app my own number there. And that way I know I got it. And just take your time on this. This will take time, guys, okay? Especially in this scenario where there's 410 people I'm texting. This will take time. Do not rush it, because the cell phone carrier will stop your text messaging, right? Just trust me on that. I've gone through so much pain. You have to call the company. and then for them to, you have to go through supervisor to supervisor to supervisor, because when you call customer service and you tell them what happened, the person who, your first person you talk to, let's just call that employee 1, they don't even understand what you're talking about. And then you're like, well, can I talk to a supervisor? They put a supervisor online. They don't even understand. Then they say, I need to send you to tech department. And then the tech department understands. And then it takes them a minute to figure out what went wrong. And then they say, you're going to have to wait 24 hours for this to be added to the system. It looks like you spammed, And you have to go through all this stuff when it's like, you have permission to text these people because they already gave you permission, but still they consider it spam. So it's extremely, extremely frustrating. So build it out, guys. Get your text list out, and you are ready to rock and roll.